Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Heaven's Audventure. I wanted to pop in and give you guys a little update on how the CPA studying is going for me, or not going since I decided to procrastinate and make YouTube videos. I'm gonna try my best to not let my weird self pop out and take over. Hey, wait, what are you doing? Say hello to everybody. Hi. Is your hair finally long enough to braid? No, it's definitely not. This video will be very honest and transparent. So go ahead and turn it off if you're looking for some good study motivation, because this probably will not be it. And then send me whatever links you guys can find, because I need it too. Wait a minute, where did everybody go? There you guys are. Is everybody looking for motivation? For those of you that have not been with me from the start, let me go ahead and catch you up real quick from the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. I'm just kidding. Jesus, I love you. So I started studying for the CPA exam January 2nd of this year, so it's been about over 6 months, over half a year of studying. I was going to take the route that everyone else does and take FAR first, but because it's the largest book, it's the most miserable section of the whole exam, but nobody's laughing. What? I'm not even going to say the word. I wanted to go ahead and get going with confidence. I wanted to have motivation from the get-go to carry me through the other sections, because I am a horrible test taker, literally the worst test taker. I cannot emphasize that enough. So since I'm an auditor, I figured let's take audit first and get going from the beginning, get some confidence, roll in here, pass it, no sweat, get going to the next section. So starting January 2nd, I started studying audit. Took me 8 weeks to study. It's got 6 units. I use Becker. So I took the exam at the end of February, the very last week of February, right before my birthday. Took it, got my results back the second week of March, and failed it. I failed it bad, like bad, with a 60. Okay, we get it. You have a buzzer. Anyways, so there went my plan, there went my confidence, there went my life. Just kidding, it wasn't that dramatic, but it was kind of that dramatic. So from there, I started restudying audit. I took it again the first week of April, so I studied for another full month, and the results were posted 12 days ago, and I still have not checked. I'm so afraid that I failed it again that I'm just like ignoring it. So I'll check it after I take this next section.
Do you want me to?
No.
But what if I don't tell you?
I don't care. Then mid-April, I picked up FAR. I was like, this is the time I'm going to take FAR, because I felt okay about that second audit exam. I was like, I can move forward. And I studied 2 modules of FAR with Becker, and it was too much. I was just like, I can't handle this right now. I'm like still new in my job. I've got a lot going on as far as just like processing and debriefing when I get home from work. So I pushed FAR off again for the second time, and I picked up regulation. So that is currently what I am studying. I have been studying regulation since April. It is now July 10th, and I take my exam in 5 days. 5 days. I'm freaking nervous, guys. I'm so nervous. Gross. Now I've been studying for half a year, and that's why I'm making this video. It's like 6 months in, so what are my thoughts? How am I handling it? Am I coping well? And I'm just going to be completely honest and transparent with everybody. It is obviously a struggle. It is obviously a challenge. It is very, 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 very difficult. I knew it was difficult coming in, but this has surpassed how difficult I thought this exam was. After I failed that first one, I've never failed a test in my life. I'm a straight A student. I studied really hard. I studied like so intensely for that exam. I do think I maybe overstudied. To where I was second guessing everything. That's a thing, and I'm pretty sure that that's what I did, and that's how I failed. But regardless, this exam is literally the hardest, most challenging thing of my entire life. The lectures are just so long, they never make any sense, and then when they do, and you're like, wow, this clicks, I feel so great. Then you go to bed and you feel awesome, because you're like, wow, I understood something for once. Then 3 months later, when you're studying for the actual exam, like reviewing, then you're like, what is this? I don't remember learning this at all. Yeah, alternative minimum tax, like what? My brain is just constantly having to-do lists going on. Like I'm constantly thinking about what is it that I have to do next to mark off my list. What am I studying next? Did I understand enough stuff from the previous night for me to move forward tonight? And I always have a timeline in my head of, okay, if I pass this time, if I pass that time, if I don't take any breaks, if I study every single weekend, if I don't take a day off, then I'll be done by this date, and I get really excited. But then life happens. Like you want to hang out with your friends, and unfortunately for me, or many other people, I'm not sure, graduated college, all of my best friends, we're still really, really tight, but we all sporadic. We just went different states. We all live in different cities, so we don't get to see each other all the time. We do have lots of FaceTimes and lots of three-way conference calls, as we call them, multiple times a week, so that is my friend time. But, and that sucks because I want to see my friends, the advantage is I get to go on road trips and visit them, but also that I don't have that distraction with me every day. They're not like asking to hang out every day, in person. So that is a benefit. I'm trying to look at it as a benefit. I'm trying to be positive here. I miss my friends so much, but it is working out for the best, I think. But I literally study all the time. I work 37 and a half hours a week in my non-busy season. It's really picky. If you guys have not been following along, I work in a government job and we work 37 and a half hours a week. Anyways, busy season starts in September, so it's coming up. We'll be working like a normal accounting job hours. I work full-time and then I study full-time, so I study about 30 hours a week on top of working. I have very limited social life, and I kind of knew that from the get. I decided when I was doing my plan, so my study schedule, I was like, do I want to incorporate, do I want to get involved in my church here in my new city, do I want to go out and make friends, or do I want to 100% focus and get this exam done as soon as possible? And I chose that route. I'll let you guys know at the very end if it was worth it or not. I do feel like I'm missing out on a lot. I'm young in my 20s and I feel like a 70-year-old. So it is a challenge. I do constantly feel like I'm missing out on being young and free and enjoying life. I am literally in bed by 9 p.m. every single night, and I wake up at 4 for work or to study, depending on what time I go in the morning. That's just part of it. I keep telling myself my reward is waiting down the road. I will get there when I get there, and it will all work out. I have adjusted every single aspect of my life around my study schedule to maximize my study hours. So like when I eat depends on when I can take a study break. When I sleep, when I go to bed at night, depends on when I actually finish my study goals. I do not go to bed until I finish every single study goal that I have, and I have went to bed late, and it's kind of screwed me up the next day, but I can't. I'm just someone that has to have everything marked off my to-do list before I go to bed. Super type A, super OCD, it's kind of a problem. Yeah, we get it. I'm an accountant. Continuing on. And when I shower, in between study breaks, obviously, if you guys saw my CPA video, I do not study in the shower, but I have thought about it. And from when I go to work, my vlogs on my last audit, I was on a local audit in Nashville. I live in Nashville, and traffic was really bad. So if I left work anytime after 3:30 p.m., I was in traffic for up to 2 hours a night, which means you can't study. I can't listen to lectures while I'm driving. It wouldn't work for me. So I had to completely change my entire schedule. That's when I was getting up at 4. I was leaving at 5 to get to work by 6. I left at about 3 every single day, and then I got several hours to study in the evenings. Now that I'm on a travel audit, I'm in a hotel room, so I can study, and it's not that far from work, so I can work a normal shift, so I can go in at 8 if I want to. I was used to going in at 6, but now I'm on Eastern time, so it's actually an hour later than Central time. So I've just been still going in at about 6:30 or 7, which is really 5:30 or 6 Central time. I've literally adjusted like probably 90% of my life, and I am lucky that I'm at this stage of life while studying for this exam. I do not have a family to attend to every night. I do not have children that I'm missing out on them growing. I do not have a significant other to like feed them meals when they get home from work or whatever. So I am lucky in that aspect. It is just me, and my time is my time. And it's super challenging. So I have no idea how people do it that are balancing working way more than I do, or that have families, or that have a child growing up that they're missing out on. It's mind-blowing to me. I would not be able to do it. So aside from the actual studying, life in general is kind of confusing for me right now. I don't know how many others can relate that have just graduated college, but it is such an interesting time because all of my friends, like I told you guys, just, they all scattered, they all went elsewhere, so I don't have them with me every day. I went from living with my best friends for 4 years to literally never seeing them. Like once a year I get to see them. That already is an adjustment. I moved away from my family. I moved to a brand new city. I don't know anybody, but I think my brain is confused about everything that's going on in my life right now. Like with this new job, every audit that I go to is a different city, so I travel to different cities every week. I'm in hotels. My parents actually moved houses recently, so even the home that I grew up in is not my house that I grew up in. It's like a new house. I'm always in a different place, and I definitely bring my study materials everywhere I go, and I just sit there and I study. I just kind of adjust to my surroundings, but my body definitely is confused. I won't go too deep into that. I don't know how many people can relate, but graduating college is I'll probably do a whole separate video on this whole idea of just confusion that you feel after you graduate. Like, I felt like I was lost. Like, I got taken from my college campus and the life that I had known the past, like, 22 years. And then I'm plopped somewhere random. And it's like, figure everything out yourself. It literally went from, like, childhood, adulthood. I don't know how well I'm coping with it. And it's almost been a year and I don't feel like I've made any progress in the adulthood world. So the moral of the story, or the whole point of making this video, is I am coping, I am surviving, and you can too. If you are studying, you definitely can do it. You have to want it. And that is something that I noticed in everyone else's videos that they talk about motivation for the CPA exam, or when I ask somebody like what keeps you motivated, they're always like, it's the next step in my career, or the bonus that I get, or the salary increase, or the promotion, or I get to be manager. For me, personally, my job does not require a CPA license until I become manager, but that's 3 promotions away from me. So that's literally probably like 10 years away before that would even become applicable. So I do, when I get like the lowest of my low days, I'm like, this is not worth it. Like, why am I doing this? I could be enjoying life and still have my job and still get the bonuses and the pay increases that my peers get that aren't CPAs. You just never know where you're going to be. You don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know where God is going to place me for my next career move. If I will have a career move, maybe I'll stay here forever, maybe I won't, maybe I'll be gone by next year. You have no idea. Because of that, that is what keeps me going. So it is somewhat career related, but a lot of it for me is just the challenge of it. It's something I feel like I can't do. From the beginning, I truly didn't think I was going to be able to do this. I was like, this CPA exam, it's miserable. After I failed first of the audit, I was like, you know, it's not for everybody. I know lots of people that have failed and given up, and I was like, what if I'm supposed to be one of those people? Like, I literally thought about it for like 3 days of, is it worth it? Do I want to go ahead and quit now and save myself several months of wasted time? Literally 3 days I did not study, and I sat there and prayed and prayed and prayed. And I got back up and I continued studying. It is very, very hard. I feel like everyone around me is like super motivated, or they have no fears of failing, or they know for sure they're going to pass it, or it's like they have to do it, or it only takes them like 5 months to take. And here I am, it's going to take me over a year. And I'm like, is it worth it? Like, that's the grounding question. And I think the answer is yes. I think. I'm not 100% positive. I will let you know if I make it.
Can I go take a shower?
In the middle of our video?
Yeah, but it'll be like really quick.
Sure, whatever. We're on your time. Why not?
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm not going to waste all that water pretending somebody's in the shower.
But I really needed a shower!
Hurry up! So anyways, sorry if that depressed anybody or like did not encourage you, but that is the realistic facts that I am feeling. That was completely honest about how this exam is affecting me mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. This exam has literally consumed my life. I think I have given too much into it, and that's what bothers me the most, is I can't just shake off a failure. That literally devastated me when I failed audit that first time. It was very humbling. I really do think it changed me. I have failed an exam, the easiest one of all 4, which worries me sick. Literally worries me sick. This exam is manageable. You can do this. I can do this, maybe. But we have to want it. We have to want it.
You were so serious like that entire time.
Girl, I'm just following the prompter. So thank you so much for watching.
No problem.
Give this video a big thumbs up if you guys liked it, and I will see you next time with Heaven's Audventure. Awkwardly laughs. Okay, bye. Oh my god, this table is literally so high. I feel like I'm like, hello guys, how you doing? So thank you so much for watching, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and let's all do what? Have and paint our toenails and sing songs?